Here are 10 tips for new players for Baldur's Gate 3. So when going through and looking for tips for new players, I found a comment that was actually made by Roman Fiend on Reddit. Shout out to him for actually coming up with this 10 tips. So the first tip for Baldur's Gate 3, if you are a new player to Baldur's Gate 3, is that if you are playing a spellcasting class, you should understand what ability scores help you land skills with those casting classes. Whether if you are playing a cleric, a druid, or a ranger, that's going to be wisdom for you. You're going to want to have your wisdom high up so that you can have higher chance to hit with something, or a higher spell DC save so that they cannot dodge or resist your spell that you're throwing at them. If you're a wizard, your spell casting attribute is going to be intelligence. If you're a sorcerer, a bard, a paladin, or a warlock, your spellcasting attribute is going to be charisma. 2, it's important to understand what attributes affect your ability to hit with certain types of weapons. If you're using a finesse weapon, you cannot use strength on it. These are going to be daggers, scimitars, short swords, and bows. That is going to be determined by your dex attribute. However, any other weapon that is not finesse related can be determined by either strength or dexterity. 3, for new players, if you come across the magic item Gloves of the Absolute and you do not have the Mark of the Absolute brand, you'll get cursed when you use the item. So you definitely need to watch out for using that item, because curses are not good. Number 4, you're going to want to avoid landing on odd numbered attributes when you are leveling up your character or creating your character. Every time that you hit even numbered stats, so 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, that's when you get the +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 bonus. So if you only move from 18 to 19, you're not going to get any additional bonus to attack damage or hit. So you're typically going to want to land on even numbers so you can provide the most bonus. Now, when you're doing things like point buy, more than likely you're going to land on a stat that is going to be 15 or 17. And when you get your ability score improvement, you can just turn it into an even number to get that little special bonus. 5, if you're using weapons that you aren't proficient in, you're actually going to get a -2 bonus to hit. So you need to make sure that you are actually proficient with these weapons. So fighters, rangers, paladins, barbarians, valor bards are proficient in pretty much everything, but everyone else is limited in a lot of ways. You need to pay attention to what the class actually gives to them. Maybe their race also gives them a bonus, or if you took any feats, what that bonus may give you. 6, the same goes for armor. If you're not proficient in armor, you'll get locked out of abilities and spell casting. You can cast if you have proficiency, even as a wizard. So for example, if you're a wizard that picks up a multi-class and fighter, now you're proficient in all armors. So you can be a heavy armor wearing wizard and have no problems casting spells. There are some classes as well that also start with certain armor proficiencies. 7 is about opportunity attacks. If you are engaged with an enemy, you want to be careful about how you retreat from that enemy, because if you just walk away, they're going to be able to hit you. So you're going to want to use disengage, which is a full action, or a bonus if you have a special ability that makes it less, to step away from them if you don't want to get hit. Also, when it comes to opportunity attacks, if you have a ranged weapon in hand and someone walks by you, you're not going to be able to do a opportunity attack against them, so you're probably going to want to end your turn by having a melee weapon equipped. 8, you should definitely be scouting out areas. So if you have someone who is good with stealth, you want them to go ahead and stealth. You want to go and explore the area so that you know where people are at. And also you're going to want to take advantage of high ground, because when you are in high ground, stealthing around and finding the good spots, it gives you a +2 to hit. 9, light matters. It's very, very important to know who has dark sight and who doesn't, or dark vision. Dark vision allows you to be able to see better in dim or dark light, while turning it into dark light into dim and dim light into full light. If you're not able to see them really well, you'll probably have a disadvantages on being able to attack them or not be able to see them at all. So there's lots of races in the game that have dark vision. That's elves, half-elves, dwarves, tieflings, gnomes, drow. Deep gnomes have even better dark vision. They have superior dark vision at 60 feet. And then humans, Githyanki, and halflings don't have it. So they'll need some kind of source to give them light, whether that be a torch, whether that be casting the light spell, or some kind of magical item that grants it. For the 10th tip, you are going to want to know that tab opens up your character sheet, so you're going to be able to look at all your characters. K is going to open up your inventory. It also shows the abilities in case you lose one off your hotbar. You can go ahead and drag it down. Now, one more bonus tip is karmic dice. Karmic dice used to be a really big tip that was given to a lot of people. It's even in this post that I'm reading right now, that if you use karmic dice and you have really high AC, you're actually going to be getting hit more because it tries to balance for you being really strong. Because you're really strong and have a high AC and are not likely to get hit, karmic dice actually make it more common for you to get hit. This used to be a bug and problem that existed in early access for Baldur's Gate 3, but according to a tweet very recently by one of the developers, this is something that is going to be solved and released. So you do not have to worry about karmic dice. I'm not sure entirely how it's going to affect the game now, if that's still going to be something that's in there, but you don't have to worry about karmic dice really screwing you over like it did in the past. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.